Oh. Sorry, I didn't realize I was unmuted. Whoop. Hey, where's everything? Here we go. Should see somebody end walking. I fell apart for a couple of days and I've forgotten entirely how to stream. Greetings, hope everyone's doing well. Gonna make a sandwich here in a bit, since your chronic headache is pretty bad. I am sorry to hear that. You've had a pretty rough summer as far as I can tell. I hope the chronic headache goes away sometimes, right? Like, do you just live in perpetual suffering? Or is it okay sometimes? Oh, I forgot to come in and put on some new glamour. The server is congested. Same, server, same. Need some Vicks Vapor Rub on my entire life. Whew. I hope everyone's doing well. I kind of fell apart this weekend. Like, my wife got a second job, and so she's hardly ever home, and when she is home, she's too exhausted to do anything. So I've kind of been single dadding it a little bit, and that's getting exhausting, and so I'm kind of in the middle of my breakdown phase, you know, as you do. I keep sleeping through my alarm and missing my own stream. Yeah, honestly, you think it's a mix of high heat, high humidity, and various stimuli that makes you feel a little more overwhelmed? Yeah. It's ragweed season, and incredibly hot, and dry. Like, it's killing me a little bit, too. Nature sucks, right, Isambard? Oh, hi everybody, I'm Old Man Sugarheart. We are playing more Final Fantasy XIV. I think we're gonna get to the bottom of this mystery. The mystery of disappearing people. I think this is the third set of disappearing people we've come across. Sister Orson cannot be, though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own. It's not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no, could not be. Couldn't be she, could it? I grow weary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she's fond of. Pray, seek out the boy, old, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activities. I'm on it. Where's the boy? Bring me the boy. Honestly, it's one of those negative feedback loops that the various stimuli that you have to deal with doesn't help. Yeah. Yeah. Where's the boy? The boy is up north. How do I get to the boy? This way? Yeah. I'm like looking at the map, trying to like figure it out. When I could use my eyeballs, and they're very effective. Whew. I hope everyone's doing pretty well. I'm happy to have my kids back in school. Life can like start to get normal, theoretically. Got imps. Vandalous. How scandalous. We're gonna get mounts soon. It's a story quest we might get to by the end of the day. And then you won't have to see my old thighs lifting up and down anymore. I imagine that's something to look forward to. There's a chocobo keep here? Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a chocobo porter? Not yet. Alright, we haven't been here yet. I was getting all indignant, like, I could have rode? Is this the Golden Bazaar? Doesn't look that gold or that bizarre. Please help. Sister Orson went out all on her own and she hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thal and the Order and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it. But what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please find her. Doof. My kid sent me on a journey to find a shiny thing. I doubt she was this concerned. Hello. We just... How's it going? Ow! We're gonna remember how to play. It's been a minute. You're the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child? Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. Now back to Drybone. There's an invisible city over here? Interesting. I would like to see it, but I'm worried that if I go there, I won't. Alright. Now we take the chocobo. Neuron. I mean, it is like 10 a.m. on a work day, but I'm almost a little surprised I'm not seeing more people on. Like, the server was congested. Surely they're here somewhere. There should be more people than are on at 4 a.m. when I usually play. Also, the rain stopped kind of abruptly. It's kind of nice to have that environment. There's a person. There's two people. Yeah, the server's hopping. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. Gods forfend, I will secure a room at the end for her should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of the orphans? And risking her own well-being in doing, no less. Certainly not dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. Give me money. Actually, yeah, give me money. Like, I've got the super pants that, like, mix with the boots. And I kind of want to switch that up for a two-piece, but my pants are just so good. Oh. I am well glad I reserved that room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, on to the matter at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that you'll be waiting at the Amalja encampment in the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. Alright, I feel the sass. I wanted to hear people upset at my me doing my best. I would have gone to work today. That's a big kitty. His name is Mashes. Is he gonna mashes me? Am I out of range? I think I'd be more concerned that he would bangers me. Like mash I can deal with. It's the bangers that get you. Ah, there you are, old. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard stories are all about good Sister Orson. Isambard said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. While following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, a band of Amalja caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, let us say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me back to why I requested you, dear old. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? I don't know, you got some gray hair too. You might be the same age. Don't mind me, official police business. Ooh, a queer leaflet. No doubt containing the gay agenda. Was that too political of a joke for my wholesome channel? Nah. You're all good sports here. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? What's that supposed to mean? The leaflet, see the wealth of Nald to the hands of your children. Looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? These bits about Naldthal seem somewhat less than studied. Find it hard to believe one among the order penned this. Pray, take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let's see what Sister Orson makes of it. Okay. I'm guessing they all just left me very, very alone because I'm like twice their level. Like right now, the double experience feels kind of dumb for the main story. But we're going to be happy to have it once we like start getting into Heaven's Ward. Because if we don't have to do level or dailies to level grind to progress, that'll make everything so much nicer. Whee! Ah, my legs. She in here? Where do you keep the Orson? In the wells? Did you leave her in the chocobo stables? According to the map. Here? Huh? There, we're right on top of her. They buried her in the ground. They did say her wounds were serious. Alright. Huh. Welcome to the eternal sleep. If there's like a tremor, does like a dead body fall through your ceiling sometimes? Because you are directly beneath a graveyard. My savior comes again. What do I owe the honor of this day? What is this? Blasphemous! These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the order, of that I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago, the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? Oh, look, one of the corpses did fall down here. Hey, Optimus Prime, how are you doing? The plot thickens, old. Our corporate pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There is no doubt an irony is in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how best to handle this. For now, tell Eisenbarb what we have learned here. Okay. Woo! We're taking the news to Eisenbarb. You're sore, but good. Man, same. I have not been able to get sleep, and when I do, my back hurts. My old man back. Anyway, complaining about my back is probably not what you came here for. Posing as a priest, to think. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, old. I shall keep my ears and eyes open now more than ever. Okay, are these... Yeah, these are new shoes. What if I did? If we put on some new shoes? Do I have any decent pants? Oh, a nice faux striker skirt? Yeah. You know what? That's a better look. It goes with my tabard. And let's not call it a skirt. Let's call it a utility kilt. It's relatable content, though. You fell backwards onto concrete on Sunday. Oof. Hope your coccyx is okay. I'm afraid I have not seen any unusual activity, nor have any at this camp given me cause to doubt them. But unless we identify the culprit, and soon, more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Let Old and me serve with the like by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. I dare hope this will yet yield us the answers we seek. It will be a dangerous undertaking, but the two of you are more than capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next to useless in battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your need, as long as you don't mind the smell and stains. These will serve very well. You have my thanks. Listen, Old. So as to lay the foundation for our little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived in the camp and are desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Eisenberg lent us and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the priest should catch wind and approach us. This is never going to work, Thancred. Our moisturizing techniques are too solid. They'll never believe we're one of the poors. Thankfully, yes. Mostly just your shoulder and mid-back hurt. Honestly, I'd say that's probably the best part to hurt. Alright, let's get some old tunics and slops. Where's my slops? There we go. Now I'm sloppy. Oh, damn. Still handsome, though. Because it's always like the lower back that hurts as you get older. And so, you know, the pain of getting older will eventually override your mid-back pain, even if it sticks around. Hey, kitty, you want to hop up here? Yeah, hang out. Say hi into the microphone for everybody. And you are? Ugh, another refugee by the looks of you. The immortal flames will have neither work nor coin for your like. Be gone and see it to you don't make a nuisance of yourself. Okay. Hi, Swinehilt. I preach the teachings of Azima, the warden. Hast thou come to partake of the honey of her wisdom? Azima is the keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. All is laid bare beneath her the light of her divine countenance. Open thy heart to this light, needy child, and thou shalt want for naught till the end of the days. Okay. Ermagerd! Greetings, good sir. Is there aught I might assist you with? Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. Mayhap you should rejoin your fellows out at the pond near Sandgate? Ermagerd. 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 Sorry, I have nothing great to contribute to the conversation besides that. Just Ermagerd. There work for me in here? Huh? Huh? Ooh, food. You really named this In the Eternal Rest, and like half the bodies, people are like, half the people sleeping there are getting cried over? I don't think they're sleeping. No, this is just another door. You're well acquainted with back pain already, so it's not too bad. Good to hear. I'm glad you're used to the perpetual suffering. Or illness. What is it? God, it's not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you the right to pester whomever you like. Why don't you keep it with your own kind, and by that, out by that muddy pond of yours at Drybone. Okay. Oh my god, you're surprised they're mistaking you for poor? Your skin is so dewy and fresh, right? I mean, look at the way the light glistens off these cheeks. My hands are so soft and gentle. I don't even know what a callus is. Okay, wait. Is there another person here? It says it's beneath me. Many things are. Let's hop down here. Oop. Ugh. Ah, there we go. Addlestand. A rich person being mistaken for poor, right? Ah, and I was just getting to the good part. Looking for work, you say. Sorry, we don't have any openings. Now get out of here so I can finish my story. We did it. Alright. He really wants me to wear these garish green pants. Like I would be caught dead. Put that utility kilt back on. People think I'm a Perl programmer. That's a programmer joke that only Perl programmers would get. You have quite a knack for being a nuisance. The camp is abuzz with talk of newly arrived vagrants. And though we were unable to attack our wayward transgressor, we were able to learn that the poor have a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, to the east of here. The eyes of the authorities do not reach that place. Rather ideal for spiriting away hapless souls. Let us go there and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, you'll need to remain in disguise. Okay. Now, these clothes smell like work. Let's go around Mashy. He's out here mashing. It's nice and foggy. Is that a new weather effect? I don't think I've ever seen fog in this game before. You can smell the work smell from here, right? Ugh. Fine morning for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? I think we may be too old to catch the priest's attention. He looks smashing old, positively dressed for deception. All that's left then is to wait for our quarry to appear. Do you hear me subtly sneaking in the adult jokes? Oh, you poor, unfortunate souls, this is no way for men to live. No way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be at ease, child. I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Naldthal, come to offer you succor. This leaflet bears the teachings of Nald. Trust to them, and they will surely set you free from the shackles of penury? Man, this game's always teaching me new words. A tempting offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. On account of the atrocious performance. You would have made a god's awful mummer, Ungust. What? How did you know? You bastards tricked me. Please don't hurt me. It was the only way to... I was only doing it to protect my people. Is that so? Do continue. Very well. I'm a man of the Golden Bazaar, raised there, if not born. Some moons again, the Amalja raids began. They would appear as sudden as a sandstorm and plunder and pillage at will. Our defenders couldn't stand against them, few as they were. Everyone lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant was all I knew. So I did the only thing the merchant could. I approached the Amalja in hopes of brokering a deal. In return for sparing Golden Bazaar, they made demands. Outrageous ones. Demands? Of what kind, pray tell? First of all, they wanted the schedule for crystal shipments from the Nanawa mines. For this, I bribed one of the workers to leak me that information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people. So I posed as a priest to lure in the vulnerable and give them over to the Amalja. I didn't have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing, but at the cost of innocence? You could have sought some aid from the immortal flames, yet you did not. I suspect you're not telling me the full story. What made you sell out your own people? Speak. Oh, that was good. What did you say? The coin was good, I said. I could sell mole meat for a score of lifetimes and never see a fraction of what the Amalja pay me. You sacrificed innocence so you'd line your own pockets? Words fail to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me your contempt. You want to blame someone for the mess of the world's in? Blame yourselves or the gods. Ugh, not you again. Were you the ones leaking the immortal flames patrol routes to the enemy as well? Spit it out. No, I know nothing about that, I swear. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that comes out of your mouth. But no matter. There'll be time enough to learn the truth. Old, be a good man. Take word of these developments to Minfilia, would you? Yep. I shall prize everything I can out of this filth. The abductees are still out there. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. Whew. Alright, finally. Let's get out of this peasant garb. There we go. Looking good. Alright, if you're unfamiliar, this part of the story is a little bit of a joke in that you're going to go to Vesper Bay a lot. So much so that the developers were nice enough to give you these Aetherite tickets. Just to like speed the story along, you get like 40 free teleports for story's sake. Wow, yeah, no choice but to kidnap people and sell them into slavery. Totally, right? But honestly, if my wage was a little lower in real life, I might need to pursue some interesting business ventures. Anyway, we play video games to escape poverty for just a second. So that's what we're gonna do. Into the solar. Welcome back, Old. I'm pleased to find you and Thancred have been getting along. I see. You've done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abductees were taken, and none but the Amalja know the answer. Suffice to say, I will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. It was thoughtful of the devs to include teleportation here. Yeah. I mean, it might have been in the face of several very irritated complaints. I didn't mind the chocobo rides myself, personally. They weren't too bad. Gives you time to, like, you know, grab a drink, sit back, relax, and listen to the chocobo theme on repeat. That said, it's good for YouTube content. A level 18 weapon coffer. Neat. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblypots, and he is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced the revolutionary method of enhancing equipment in Eorzea. The knowledge of this method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, has now been disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of this process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix and bid him to use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found at his camp in central Thanalan. A place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke, and the way will become clear. Okay. Where is Central Thanalan? Where am I? Or by Blackbrush? But seriously, where am I? Blue Frog. Ah, there I am. That's a bit of a walk. Maybe I can teleport? I sure can. Bubbly pots, eh? Located at the Pillar of Smoke, you don't say? I see what you're getting at. You're one of them types that likes to inject marijuana cigarettes, isn't it? Not on my wholesome channel. In my wholesome channel, we judge people for their beliefs. Constantly and frequently. We're gonna start with bubbly pots over here. Hello. You just stand on tables over here? I love it. He's got Darth Vader breath. Who is the uplander come to tent ring of Mutamix bubbly pots? Filthy tool drinks in airy self. When full of airy self, flighty tool changes to stony shine. Name of materia. If materia join with the other fighty tool, then Big Eyes fighty tool gains power of airy self. Mutamix is reckoning that Uplander is friend of Minfilia. Yes, tongue flaps reach ears of Mutamix with fastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander brings Fighty Tool to Mutamix, yes? Fighty Tool is unstrong as eating tool. Make good teachy show the power of materia. The materia master. Mika! Angelique! Hey everybody! Welcome, welcome. That is a huge raid. Mika, thank you for the raid. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good evening tonight. Angelique, hello, hello, it's been a while. Tweeboo, that's a new name. I think it's a new name. Mika very mindful, Mika very mindful. Welcome to the party. I'm Old Man Sugarheart. We're a variety streamer doing many things. Today we're playing through the main story quests of Final Fantasy XIV. We've started fairly recently. We're only up to about the part where we're gonna fight ifrit soon. It'll be a good time. Glumchum, hey, I missed you too. Finally got a chance to raid you. Yeah. My timing is usually much worse, but I called in sick to work today, so I'm streaming in the middle of the day instead of the end. Milady Sloth, I remember you too. Oh my goodness. You brought quite a party of awake people. This is not my new normal crowd. Anyway, welcome. I hope you had a good stream. If you need to get some dinner or sign off, I understand completely. Welcome to the party. And now I must continue the story. We're degens, aren't we all? Now, Eyes of Uplander, point at Fighty Tool, yes? Materia join with Fighty Tool. Fighty Tool gains the power of materia. Fighty Tool reborn. Here, Uplander, take Fighty Tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond, that being the measure of how fully an item has been imbued with the spirit, with its owner's spirit. When ye attach a piece of materia to your gear, ye imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned that dagger of yours into summit that would have struggled to cut a stake into a weapon worth wielding. Shh. Uplander wishes to be a joiner of materia? Then Uplander best filled brain case with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants brain case to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learny ones of Mutamix. Ooh. It's almost 12 a.m. now. We're all here except a few. They went to bed all right. That's fair. I am not. I am very healthy and very demure RMB. Nice, nice. I'm gonna lurk for now. Enjoy. Welcome. You're excited to find me streaming in the morning for you? The morning for you? I mean, it's morning for me too, but not like morning. Alright. We could learn materia stuff here, but you know what? I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to go straight back to Minfilia. We're not going to need to care about being strong for quite a while. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. for you? Wow. Okay, that puts you on the West Coast. With the California love and all that. Or perhaps you're in Vancouver or Bellevue. These are places I have heard of. I went to California once. I actually broke into E3 when I was very young. I snuck in with some actual press, and I crafted a fake press badge with shoelace and a Radio Shack gift card, and I got to sneak in and play the GameCube before it was released. It was fun times. That was a long time ago. I want to say it was like 97. That seems like only yesterday. Welcome back, old. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I'm sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may very well give you the edge you need, old, so make it your ally. Now, it is the time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you're ready to begin. Okay. But did you give me a loot box? Show me the thing. What did I get? The Inferno Axe. Is it cool? Is it better than what I got? It is worse than what I've got. Okay. Cool story. Ah, the Lord of Inferno. Howdy, Sugarheart. Hey, Cold, how are you doing today? Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalja to discuss their dealings. Decent. Just got to work. How am I? I'm good. I skipped work today. Don't tell anyone. A few of them know I stream. They might be here. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja responsible for the abductions. And so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Amalja are anticipated to offer the fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, old. Thancred is presently attending to another manor, but will join you as soon as he's able. Till such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, and a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone, and report to the Flame Sergeant regarding the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Woo! But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm playing hooky from work a little bit. I mean, I am genuinely exhausted and burnt out and needed some time for me. So we'll call it a mental health day. And I think that is fair. I'm allowed. Don't judge me. But yeah, more interesting story. I did sneak into E3. Yeah, when I was young. When the GameCube was released. It wasn't too hard. Like, there was a big enough crowd, you just kind of like pushed your way in. And as long as you didn't leave the conference for any reason, like, they only really posted guard security at the door, and they had their hands full with the entire convention. So it was easy to get in. You just like picked an area you wanted to be in, and you stayed there for the majority of it. But yeah, it was great. The GameCube was announced there. The Where am I going? I think I'm going into the bar down in the basement behind the aetherite. What is that? A bird. Let's see. Game Boy Advance was also announced there. Is this not the place I need to be? Ugh. I'm trying. Maybe in here? There we go. It's this guy. Ah, your old Sugarheart with the scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and prize them from the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizard men aren't aware that their man Ungust has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owning the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more from the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds. Let's make sure it does. Gotcha. Let the Amalji succeed. Wait a second. Oh well. I'm sure he meant what he meant. But yeah, I played Advance Wars at E3 on the Game Boy Advance, and it was so good. Let's see. I also played Smash Bros. Melee. That was there. They also had a game called Cameo that was coded and ready to go for the GameCube, but after the GameCube came out, it was not included, which is kind of disappointing. It was a really good game. I mean, it was a basic like Banjo-Kazooie but it was a lot of fun. I mean, the GameCube was new. This was all really cool and new at the time. I did get caught by security eventually. Smash Bros. Melee was so much fun. Yeah, I got to kick the general press's butt so bad. I got decently good with Fox. You know, who wasn't in Smash Bros. 64, so like nobody knew his moveset. And I was wrecking people in various press crews. I think I even got to beat a guy from IGN. It was fun. There's that guy looking all savory. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalja appear. Yes, sir. Ooh-ah! What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. Tee-hee! I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Do you wonder how I managed it? 'Twas almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Oh, we're finally fighting. Feels like it's been a while. Do I not have a hit bar? Oh, there we go. Maybe they just hadn't done damage to me. How long will you last, I wonder? I don't know, pretty long, man. Oh, you got more. This show is only the beginning. It does seem to continue to go, doesn't it? I totally kicked that. Put up your weapons or your comrade's a dead man. I mean, he's more of a work acquaintance. Behind you! Bring him. The rest of you march. Traitorous scum. How's it going? I fear the Amalja will give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, let me die a soldier's death with steel in hand. Okay. I mean, it was really nice of them to leave me all my gear. Alright. Here we go. The first fight, dungeon, trial, whatever you call it. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Alright, Dr. Seuss. Mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you. Grace us with your divine presence. O mighty ifrit, we bring before you the ignorant savages who know not of your godhead. Sorry, godhood? He does have the head of a god. That's what he puts the hood on. If it pleases you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells. Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may hold the right of summoning. The souls of the unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg of you. Pitiful creature of a man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions, feed my flames with your faith, and that all who stand against us shall burn. O mighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible. What sorcery do you resist my master's will? I'm just that cool. Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. I'm gonna boop your god right in the snoot. Forsooth, thy frail mortal flame can serve as a vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon ye. The truth of thine alliance waxeth clear. Thou art the godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. The only guy in the room to make a will save, right? Don't mind me. There we go. Alright, ready, set, doink. Ow! He hits pretty hard. If I remember right, he's got some kind of nail mechanic. Like I hit the nails and I don't die quite as hard. I struggle to remember. Surrender thyself to the fires of judgment. No, sense power in that nail. This nail? I mean, you guys are the DPS, you get it. Here. Let's get his butt pointed at me. Sorry, his face pointed at me. It's hard to tell sometimes. It's a pretty radiant plume you got there. Ooh, piece of candy. Hey, forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalja zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. Whew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. And for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Old. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would have never have left you to face it alone. You may have been given a veritable baptism by fire. But let us continue this conversation in a more agreeable surroundings. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. Now that was the mighty, that was the mighty Ifrit. What a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Uldan interference into account. You should have known better than to rely upon 55-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. I find that I'm troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but it is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. It's my crew. We got the Lancer, we got a little Conjurer, a little Thaumaturge. Adorable. Alright, we did the thing. Ooh, some bodies have hit the floor. Ah, there you are, old. Come, rest a while. You'll have no better opportunity after witnessing their gods' ignominious defeat. The Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath. For a time, at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered. But it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortune, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, old. Not that I would ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I've long suspected that you have been in the potential shape. You have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, you have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax, and return to the waking sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss the matters of more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. I bet I could beat him there. Pew! He says take your time, but like the quest isn't finished yet. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. Okay. My late arrival nearly cost Old his life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived. But that does not excuse the fact that he should have never had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Old, it is good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I have just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You've done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I have no cause to fear. And now we can put paid our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amaja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Old Da. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gradania of late. I dare say, you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, the primals may consume aether. They are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more aether they require. And now aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of aether, crystals. It's for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be tracked back to a primal. Which leaves us to wonder why of the abductions? To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well within the world, the primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry to their gods for deliverance from suffering. The cries serve as a beacon toward the primal's essence, which is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants that the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely given, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not of the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When you first came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief that you are safe to return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. You may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, old. No. Do not skip. My kitty tried to skip the cutscene. He hates cutscenes. Though you may be sure it won't last long, once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or not, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think would be best you heard from one of us. Concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are being put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends to the strength of the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope you will continue to stand with us, old. But I should be going. I must apologize to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. I mean, freedom of religion is nice. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Luswab would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Yeah, get good. So it seems like the best recourse is just to kill anybody who worships anybody. I'm in. Minfilia is wearing a wry smile. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Ishtola and the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal ifrit. Nobody expects the Sugar Inquisition, right? Have you been believing in a higher power in here? Oh, you better not have been. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, and you will soon discover. My kitty is biting the shit out of me right now. He's like, pet me right. Stop playing games. We have guests, old, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of Seven Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero in their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Laminsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, old, your recent exploits have garnered you the attention of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's Bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. The elf looks somewhat... Anyway, never mind. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Old's deed spread so quickly. That of the immortal flame should know the triumph is to be expected, but what of the other grand companies? Eep! You've been tweeting. Your reputation precedes you, Master Sugarheart. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face the primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelvewood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Sugarheart. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A man of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend. And together, let us secure a prosperous future for Old Da. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. As do many others in Limsa. Long before the rest of Eorzea took note, your name was well known to us, owing your valorous deeds on behalf of our citizens. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together we shall send the grand vessel of Limsa Lominsa to the shores of glory. Lady Menphilia? Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. These are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa Lominsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Order of Flames in Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation which it belongs to. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may prove useful to you to your other endeavors. You're agonizing over which Grand Companies best deserve your loyalty. Be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you're entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that this is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall the 3 city-states you are planning to hold the remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let old our leaders speak, and then return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. I mean, I do look good in red. I know full well that adventurers are by their very nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Old, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a Grand Company, however, you'll be one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need in it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. I will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Old, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time for you to make ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. You have the power of a player character, right? Man, I know they gotta like shoehorn like the PvP companies into the story somehow, but boy, that was a lot of text. Just to say, like, you want to be on the red team, the yellow team, or the black team. And my answer's complicated. Like, I look good in red, but I feel more at home in the forest. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, old. Might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often. To a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you won't want to know where and when the remembrance services will be taking place. All goes to plan. Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services, and Elder Seedseer Khan Isena will deliver her address at Miketo's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenge involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it is possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Rabban Aldine will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored to be that there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where the Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merle Weeb Blofiswin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Zenthiel, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Good luck. All right. We got plenty of time. I say we go first. I want to go to Gridania first, actually. But the fastest way for me to get there is to take the airship from here. We'll go in order. It's been a while since we've done a job quest, but as it turns out, you cannot do them willy-nilly. I hope none of the festivities are happening at the Golden Saucer. Like 90% of all corporate conventions are happening in Las Vegas these days. I've actually never been to Las Vegas. I feel like I would hate it. Mostly because it's incredibly hot. Second, I feel like they would take all of my money. Ah, nice rainy forest. Now I feel at home. Alright, frolic up the stairs. Yeah, that's kind of how you feel about Las Vegas. I don't, like... Some of my coworkers get like super excited about it. I'm like, the water's gotta taste like garbage, right? Like, you're in the middle of the desert. Like, unless it's bottled, I feel like it's been filtered like 8,000 times and recycled. Like, it feels like some steampunk nonsense. Not steampunk. Every other kind of punk. Feels kind of Necromunda-ish or Dune-ish. Speaking of which, I've been watching the new Dune Awakening gameplay, and I've actually gotten very excited about it. Like, I had my doubts, but they're without saying it out loud, they basically said that it's Conan Exiles, but in the Dune universe. And Conan Exiles was pretty good. And so I'm actually a little excited to, you know, steal the blood of my enemies and drink it. Looks like a pretty crystal party here. Oh, honey, no one is drinking water there anyway? Yeah. I quit drinking alcohol.
I lost my son to the calamity.
And I don't want to die in the desert.
Seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hure and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hure and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on the
high
bloody
roads
Ixal.
without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood.
Seems a bit aggressive.
Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children.
Woods will be done.
It's up to
We
us
must
to
think
protect
of
the
the
forest.
children.
Elementals!
Would somebody please think of the children? Oh wait, there they are. They're fine. They're walking weird.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler.
Yes.
You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Grandanians are unfortunate enough to have contend with 2 beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the most troublesome, being a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with Grandanians until recently at last. At last they have grown aloof, change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty. The one wonders how long it will be before it's broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, would put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to an all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? I mean, they do seem to have, like, the biggest problems. Like, and I feel like we're underselling the Garlean Empire actually building steel fortresses in their backyard. Alright, now we go to Ul'dah. In Ul'dah, they are big, strong, and do good punch. That guy's a member of the Bean Guild. I do like beans. Is that the Azure Dragoon? Huh. Am I being chased by a cat girl? I suspect I am. Hello, Kuromi. You just did a lap around me for fun? Okay. I'm going to Ul'dah. You're welcome to come too. Ul'Dada. Please call me Ul'Daddy. I'm kidding, of course. Please don't call me that. Like, I really hope the daddy-mommy thing is as uncomfortable to everyone else as it is to me. Like, far be it for me to tell you who and how to love. But it's the why that concerns me. Like, could you not sexualize your parents, please? It's a little weird. Just a little bit. Calling your girlfriend or significant other baby is also kind of messed with me. I'm like, you know, there are actual babies, and they're kind of using that word for the exact opposite intentions of you.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamo herself!
And Roban as well.
That's why I address my wife as human female.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Hurrah! Brauban!
Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many
that not
left
how it
our
happened?
gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond.
Yeah, rob your neighbor's neighbor instead.
Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you! Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Yeah, for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your grace,
Raubon.
This is the best part.
People of Ul'dah, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived.
It is my firm belief that every vice president of the United States should lift the president up for every speech, for the entire duration.
For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
Fancy meeting you again.
Yeah, but nobody here's thinking of the children. The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you've encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life? Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, the refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Uldana has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffer is bottomless, and assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Ul'dan send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It's a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventure of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. I don't know, the flames seem like an easy solution for the refugee problem. And on top of that, I'm heavily corpo in real life. I don't want to do this again in my game. Yeah, I don't think Ul'dah is for me. Even for RP reasons. Ah. That is a really cool looking guy. Sultan Zukov. That's a good look. Are these RPers everywhere? Limsa Lamensa just being Limsa Lamensa. I don't know how people can just stand to hang out here so much. Oh, there's a person inside that person. Alright, we shouldn't stare. Oh my god, it's your dad? What, the little tiny Sultan guy? My dad is a decent sized dude. He looks more like this guy. Well, he's got a big bushy beard, like myself. But my dad's always had more of a Hispanic Hulk Hogan look to him. Like, he's not Hispanic in the least, he just spends a lot of time in the sun. Hey, Spark Kirby. The wee Sultan is your dad. Wind up, Zeldink. I get it. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but I get it. Hey, how's it going? It's going pretty good. We're just getting seduced by the various factions of Eorzea. Here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Yeah, okay. How are you doing, Spark Kirby?
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
There was a Scottish person in here? Where are they from? Where's Eorzea, Scotland?
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
My heart swells with sugar.
700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Ha yeah, ah, ha ha, yeah, ha!
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive.
This is the faction of choice if you don't want to pay for streaming services.
Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Like I was gonna buy a subscription to Paramount Plus. I mean,
Freedom.
really.
Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again?
It does figure that Twitch would interrupt a speech with an ad. We can hang out for a minute while that happens. So I do have a subscription to Amazon Prime now. And I gotta say, it's like the worst streaming service for just movies in general. Like, I like Netflix for original content. There's a lot of stuff in it that I miss regularly. What else? I do like Disney Plus just because, you know, Disney has had good movies over its long history. And good TV shows, too. And they did buy, like, Marvel and Star Wars. And they've released plenty of content for that, even though they're probably too much. Like, it's hard to get excited about things. I can't get into, like, the Marvel movies. Like, because I feel like I need to watch them in order, and I forgot where I left off. Somewhere around Captain America, I think. And other than that, Hulu's got all the cartoons I like. You returned! Welcome back.
Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the Curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long.
I feel like the sunset hit at the perfect moment in her speech.
We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest.
See, now
Mark
lightning needs to
ye well,
strike.
a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men.
Yar.
To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Love all the nautical references. Won't somebody please think of the cutlasses?
Fancy meeting you again.
Aye, barnacles and the like. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Laminsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. And as if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the middle of Laminsan's backyard. Oh, them too? And that is to say not for internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Laminsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect they will soon take a decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. But will you sail with the Admiral? Yarr. Old, this is Minfilia. You're well, I hope. Am I correct in thinking that the final remembrance service is now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies? Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sand, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Okay. But yeah, we were talking about how our parents look a moment ago. Wait, who is Bug Girl? Are you Bug Girl? Her name is Winterbug. I love the title. I love a title that goes with their name. Anyway, at one point we were talking about parents. You said your parent looks like the Sultan here. That was a good look. I like it. My mom is in this game, actually. If you haven't seen her, you can Google Final Fantasy XIV Matoya, and she looks exactly like my mom. My mom is quite small, too. My dad I haven't really seen in here. If anything, my dad looks like Raubon. She is? Yeah, it's not really her, but it looks exactly like her. Which is awesome, because like Matoya's theme from like Final Fantasy 1 was probably my favorite video game song growing up. And so, you know, it brought a little bit of a tear to my eye when I found Matoya in game. And it was my mom. And it was playing a remix of that song. It was a very emotional moment for me. Very nostalgic. Oh, that's wonderful, right? We've got to choose someone to hang out with. RP-wise, we probably fit the best with the Storm Officers. But, you know, in my heart of heart, I think I belong in the forests. My heart belongs to the forest. That's where I'm going. Welcome back, Old. The Grand Company leaders were as I hope. Were they? Anyway. Were their words as illuminating as you had hoped? Each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Old. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. Oh, they have butlers?
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Oh, hi, kitty. Hop on up. You are very wet right now. What did you do?
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity?
It does seem like they would be mentioned in the remembrance of them.
No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
The Heroes of Light were from Final Fantasy 1, right? Like 1 through 3? Yeah. So the Warriors of Light, I believe, were like the official name of like the hero group from Final Fantasy 1. And I think you're right. I think they did carry on through 1 through 3. And I feel like maybe it was mentioned in other games. I'm trying to think of like which games, but like crystals always seem to like be mentioned in some respect. Like none of the stories, well, most often like the stories don't tie together, but they like to reuse themes, and I feel like they reused the Warrior of Light more than 3 times. I just can't remember any.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady! We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all.
So she had those like butler bodyguards following her, but I feel like you never see them again. At least I don't remember ever seeing them again.
The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
I really wish they'd like come back to this game and add voices to a lot of the main story quests. Like, yeah, like it's been a long time. The original voice actors are gone or sound different. But like, I don't mind a little jank. I'm just getting real tired of reading all of this. And I feel like a lot of people would. Doesn't one of them need to stay with him? Nah. He can take care of himself, I think. I don't know. Anyway. Hello. Ah, I take it the Elder Seed Seer's words have touched your heart. You resolved to entwine your destiny with that of the Twin Adder? Yeah, alright. You've chosen wisely and wildly, my friend. The Elder Seed Seer will be overjoyed. Without further ado, let us speak of practical matters. In order to complete the enrollment procedure, you must report to the headquarters in Gridania, the Adder's Nest. Ooh, and I get honey yellow dye. Awful. The building you seek stands in the southernmost part of the city, now called New Gridania. Give your name to the personnel officer there, and he will guide you through the formalities. I have no doubt but that your deeds will bring great honor to the Order. When next we meet in Gridania, I shall be proud to call you brother. Brother. To the Gridania. Actually, so there's a boat, like, right here. Where does it take me? I'm a little curious. Also, it seems like these white-haired twins are the actual main characters of this story. So, they're mysterious characters, and the game does a job of having, like, mysterious characters kind of like in the background of the story and make you go like, ooh, who are they? Are they important? And then you're like, oh, they are important when they become important. Like, Y'shtola was the same way. It was just like, ooh, mysterious cat girl, what's she all about? And then, you know, you meet her, and then you find out what she's all about. Like, yeah, the twins are going to play a big part in the story. Like, you could almost call that a spoiler, but it's pretty obvious, right? Now, I haven't gotten too far in this story, so I don't know how far they go. But I wouldn't be shocked if they stuck through for every expansion. Man, I am excited to get to the parts that I have not been to yet. And in case you're wondering, that would be Stormblood. I got to Stormblood. And there was some underwater temple I got to. The dungeons were always like a tripping point for me in the story, because I had to play them with other human beings. And I always got like super nervous that I was going to let everybody down by not knowing the mechanics and having them run it twice. You know, a fate worse than death. And so, like, every time I got to a dungeon, I would take the time to study it. And eventually, I got tired of study. That happens to me a lot. I'm quite famous for my ability to drop out of everything. I dropped out of high school. I dropped out of college. Eventually, I'm hoping to drop out of work, but I also need to eat. It's been quite a problem, actually. Hello, Tara Mochi. I like the lipstick. You are come to the Adder's Nest. I am be here, it is true. Headquarters of the Order of the Twin Adder. Ever do we welcome they who would toil in the elemental's name for the good of our forest nation. You haven't gone far into the main game, just the main town. Ooh. The game starts with them, and they spout exposition. Every time you see them, they're probably going to be important. Yeah. How'd you get into college after you dropped out of high school? My GED and standardized test scores were high enough that I got accepted into college pretty easily. Like, I'm not dumb. I'm just, I just don't do homework. It gets in the way of my video game time. Anyway, my name is Old Sugarheart. I believe you were expecting me? The great adventurer himself, yes. Our recruitment officer sent word that you were on your way. It's a pleasure and an honor to both welcome you, both to welcome you to our ranks. Our friend. Wait, a pleasure and an honor both to you. Ugh. I am butchering that in my head. Now let me gather the relevant documentation. Sir! What is it? Report. An urgent message from Amarasay Spire? Sir? A Highwind Skyways airship has taken fire from Imperial's forces in the skies over the East Shroud. The vessel's engine were crippled, sir, and it was forced to make an emergency landing southeast of the Nine Ivies. Nine Ivies? Ah, gods. This could not have come at a worse time. All but a handful of our forces are presently afield, dealing with the Ixal. Old, I know you full well have yet to be formally inducted into our ranks, but we have urgent need of your aid. In all likelihood, the airship was bearing civilians, if the reports are accurate. It will have come down dangerously close to Garlean-occupied territory. Please, make haste to the southeast of the Nine Ivies, locate the airship, and ascertain the status of the passengers. Okay. Woo! Aw. You are a yellow bean. Alright, where exactly am I going? Is there an easy way there? I don't see an easy way. I think we're gonna have to do some walking. Is there a chocobo ride? Yes. Take me to Bent Branch. It's a little closer. And on the way, I will tell you my story of school. So, at some point in my school, I was like a good straight A student for a while. And then at some point, around 6th grade, my parents were used to take my like finished homework and use it to like light fires in the fireplace. Like it was an easy source of tinder, you know? But one time they grabbed homework I had yet to turn in, used that to start a fire, and I went to school and I was like, they were like, where's your homework? I'm like, my parents burned it. And like they just treated me like I was a liar, and they were like, oh, your parents burned your homework. And I'm like, you can call and ask them. Like, it's what happened. And they're like, ugh, well, I guess I'll give you the homework to do again. And I expect it by tomorrow. And I thought about it, and I'm like, he's treating me like such an ass. Like, I've never not turned in homework before in my entire, like, scholastic career. And it was hard homework. I don't want to do it again. And so I didn't. And you know what I discovered? Nothing happened. don't tell my kids this. But there's very little consequence to not doing your homework, especially when you're from like a small mountain village and there is no other school. Like they don't kick you out of that school. And so like I decided to run an experiment. I continued to not do homework and not receive any negative consequences whatsoever. And I was like, oh my God, I can just stop doing homework. And this was, you know, all well and good for a while. But eventually, my family moved to a city. A city with multiple schools and, you know, schools with actual standards. And all of a sudden, my not doing homework tasks were an issue. But by then, I wasn't ready to start doing homework. I mean, I'd grown accustomed to the lifestyle, and the lifestyle was great. Like, I was paying attention in class, I aced every test, I just didn't do homework. So, like, my grades were, like, A's or F's, depending on, like, how much homework the class actually had and how much weight it had. Like, I actually had an A in math, because I did all the homework while the teacher was teaching. But, like, I refused to do homework at home. And honestly, it was great. Am I anywhere near the southeast ivies yet? There it is. Way down there. Is there a chocobo keep around here? I'd hate to make this walk twice. Oh, that's why your partner did in high school too? Yeah. But eventually, in my new school, they were like, you have to retake this class, and this class, and this class. And I was like, you know, if I keep retaking all these classes, like, do I actually get to graduate? And they're like, probably not if you don't pass them eventually. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to stay here. And so, let's see, you know, being a kid with the weight of the world on their shoulders, I was at home bawling my eyes out, and my brother, my older brother, came up with a master plan. Like, he stayed up all night, and he was like, I'm 18. It is legal for me in this state to homeschool him. And so he convinced my parents, like, that was a course of action that he can actually do. And so, like, we approached my parents like, I'm not going to school anymore. And they're like, why not? And I'm like, because I can't graduate. And they're like, well, that's a problem. Do graduate. And I'm like, well, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be homeschooled. And they're like, I don't have time to homeschool you. We both work. And I'm like, fair enough. But my brother, he does not. And they're like, he can't homeschool you. And we're like, we looked it up. He can. And they were like, oh shit. Well, okay. On one condition, you get a GED, and then you can stay home and be homeschooled by your brother. And bless my brother, he did his best. Yeah, let's interrupt for the story because, you know, I've got viewers who are actually here for the game for some reason. Let's see. I need to remember where I was in the story. So my brother began homeschooling me, and there was one condition, like, I get a GED as soon as possible. All right. Now that story's on hold for this story. An adventure? What are you doing out here? Oh, wait. Let's find some cover first. The Adder's Nest sent you. How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Well, I shook my head. Does that help? Peace, friend. We mean you no harm. You're the engineer of the Garland Ironworks, are you not? We were alerted to your plight and have come to rescue you. And you are old Sugarheart, I presume? I was told to expect an honorary serpent. My thanks for your aid, friend. There's gonna be a lot of gangster kneeling around here. I've never seen a craft of this design. It must be Garland's work. Is there no end to the man's treachery? The secrets of Magitech belong in Imperial hands. They're not to be squandered by Eorzean savages. We're taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must. And bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Imperial scouts from Castrum Orients. They mean to requisition the ship. Wedge! You have to help him. The poor fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. The tiny Bronco? But isn't it at the Ironworks' latest creation? It's the first ship we built since the Calamity. The first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight, and she was soaring. She really was. Till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. Attend me all. The Ironworks' latest creation must not fall into Garlean hands. We shall strike them swift and sure and rescue Engineer Wedge. Old, I trust we can rely on your support. Yeah, I'll hit some things. May the matron watch over us. With me. Yar. An ambush! To arms! I'm not getting aggro. Where's my get aggro button? Whoa. What is going on back here? They had a Magitech armor stored in the luggage compartment. You laughed out loud at... Yeah, I'll hit some things. I mean, that's the kind of vibe the early quests have, right? Everyone's just kind of assuming you'll help you. It's like, yeah, alright. I mean, we just met, but okay. I guess I'll be the hero of light. Biggs! Wedge, you should have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. So everyone knows that Sid's in all the Final Fantasy games, but Biggs and Wedge are also in a lot of them. Sometimes they call Biggs Vix. That's a translation issue. Yeah, Biggs and Wedge. Yo, right? Too damn close. So, how does she look anyway? The auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can wring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. Few minor modifications and we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. And while you do your work, we shall keep watch over the perimeter. The enemy may yet be lurking nearby. As for you, Old, you've more than done your part today. I bid you return to the Adder's Nest and complete your enlistment. I pray there will be no further interruptions. Until next we meet, let it be as fellow serpents of the Order. I just wanted to say sorry, you know, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously, though. If it hadn't been for you and the twin Adder lads there, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in near debt, friend. We both are. Thank you, Onion Head. Wedge. Why, he nodded. Thank you, we're very grateful. So that's where the Garleans hang out over here. And we got this little spy tower over here. Cute. Maximilwa? Maximilwa? Is that your name? Okay, so let's see. Where was I in my story? My brother was to homeschool me. And I took the GED test at the earliest convenience. This was when I was 15. And so, like, I'm sitting there with a bunch of, like, 40-year-old single dads trying to get their life together. And I aced the test. The GED was easier than a lot of the homework I had to deal with in high school. And my brother, you know, he tried to homeschool me to some degree, but he was not going to do any kind of official manner of it. So what he did was he gave me, like, his college books for, like, Japanese 101 and Intro to Programming. And I tried both of those. I tried to learn both of them. I got far enough in Japanese to get to the written language, and then I was like, are you kidding? No. You borrowed all these characters for what reason? I refuse. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a chocobo porter? Yeah. And so that leaves programming. And, you know, I downloaded some, like, a basic compiler, started programming in C++. I made, like, a basic game of tic-tac-toe, which, you know, at the time was pretty rare. Like, they teach programming a lot earlier in high school these days, or, you know, at all. But it was kind of it was still the new hotness when I was young. And so, like, yeah, I taught myself how to program to some degree. I wasn't any good at it, but I discovered I had a passion for it, and it just kind of made sense. Like, if you play video games long enough, you just kind of get, like, a feel for the code behind it, you know? Like, it's all true or false questions all the way down. Like, did you select the attack button? You did. Okay, you attack. Did the attack hit? It did. Yeah. You do some damage. How much damage do you do? Somewhere between this and this. Cool. Did you kill it? You did. Yay. Victory tune. Like, programming is very basic and easy when you think about it. So Anyway, on top of that, and trying to apply for work as a 15-year-old with a GED was very hard. So like for the next 3 years, I didn't do much of anything. Like I read what I wanted to learn, and I slept when I was tired, I ate when I was hungry. It was all pretty great. It was honestly like the best time of my life. But, you know, I knew life was gonna head to a rough patch if I just kind of stayed where I was. So the goal was to go to college. Video games be nothing but bullions, right? Yeah, oh man, that sounds awesome. It was great. And honestly, I feel like that's what most people in the world are lacking, is just genuine time to do nothing for an extended period of time. Hello, Bug Boy. And, like, yeah. It helped me become a better person. Like, I actually put some serious thought into, like, who I was, how I treated the people around me. Like, I first started to grow as a human being when I had time to introspect a little bit. And it changed my personality a lot for the better. I was still a horrible person, probably until I was like 30. But I was growing and learning. And then, after all of that, let's see. The goal was to find work and save up money for college. And I did just that, except for the save money for college. I worked for many years, like storing a little ways at a time. And then I broke my arm without insurance and they took all my money. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go to college with no money. Everyone else seems to do that all right. And so I did. Frontal cortex isn't fully formed until we're 25, so that makes sense, right? I'd say mine didn't fully form until at least 27, maybe 30. I always felt a little behind socially and intellectually. In any case, I need to wrap this up. Oh, hold, it does my spirit well to see you've returned. Word arrived but moments ago from the teen of the 9 Ivies. Lest you worry, the 2 engineers are safely on their way. The lieutenant informs me that you were instrumental in the mission's success. Had you not found Engineer Biggs when you did, and helped us rout the Garleans, things might have been very different. And all this before you were even inducted into the Order. You're well on your way to carving out a fine career for yourself beneath the twin Adder standard. But without further ado, let us see to your induction. 12 willing, there won't be any further interruptions. Woo! Do. Hey, some of us are late bloomers. Yeah. I just find that I constantly have growing and learning to do. Like, I got into streaming kind of late. I mean, I'm an old man and all. But, like, I genuinely think I honestly wasn't ready until, like, some point in my 30s. Like, I don't feel like my personality was developed enough that I could be a decent human being, enough that I can interact with people on a large scale and not give bad advice or say dumb things. I mean, one of these days, someone's going to find my old social media accounts and find out old things I said when I was 15 and hold those against me. And they're right to do so. But I like to think I have grown up as a person. You've not grown as a person unless you're ashamed of everything you said not too long ago. And the more recent you said something you're ashamed of, the quicker you are growing. Anyway, We all make mistakes. We all get better. We're all growing. I've got to call it quits for today. I've got a lot of stuff I need to do before I pick up the kids from school. Thank you so much for watching. I will be on at my normal time tomorrow. Like, it sounds like a promise. I hope it's a promise. I've been falling off as of late, and we'll get back together before too long. What day is today? Today's Tuesday, right? I think today's Tuesday. If it's Tuesday, then tomorrow we're playing Final Fantasy 14 tomorrow. Boo, 2 a.m. stream. Yeah, I know, man. We are trying something new this week. Since I am often dead on Monday morning as a direct result from streaming all night Saturday night, we're going to try moving that stream up to Friday night so I'm less stressed and have less work to do on Sunday. Call hooky tomorrow. Man, my vacation time did just roll over. I'm not going to make any promises, but next week is Labor Day weekend. And so I don't want to make any promises because I don't know what I'm going to do with that time. But that extra holiday time, I want to spend playing video games. We'll just see what happens. So there might be a surprise stream or two. I just want to get back to my regular schedule so people can count on me to being here when I say I'm going to be. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And if you're on Twitch, stick around and we'll find somebody to raid. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for being here. It was a great chat. I learned a lot about you. Come on, who am I following? There's gotta be somebody cool here. Gimme Hug is playing Mika and the Witch's Mountain. That could be good. Sidaria is also very cool. It looks like she just started. And Sir Rolfs is playing Liza P. The lesbian next door is playing Coral Island. Do you have a preference? Since you're the only one chatting right now? You want to see Mika and the Witch's Mountain? Science and Technology, Liza P, or Coral Island? Like, they're all pretty cool people. First one sounds cool? Cool. I'm sending you to Gimme Hug then. I've wanted to check this game out too. This is a fairly new, cozy release. I think it's a witch platformer? Hard to say. Anyway. Be sure to tell Gimme Hug I said hi. Have a great time. And take it easy. Bye-bye.